Alright, this is How the World Ends review by me. Now, I am a musical connoisseur. Actually, before we do start this, I do want to say that I am not what I just said, a musical connoisseur. I like to think I enjoy music, but I don't know if I'm exactly Anthony Fantano when it comes to these things. I mean, personally, I don't really trust him. But, you know, we'll carry on. So, here's a little overview. This is How the World Ends is an alt rock indie album, I guess. Released September 24th, 2021 by Bad Flower, a rock band that's been making music since 2013. Now the band consists of four people: Josh Katz, the singer; Joey Morrow, the lead guitarist; Alex. I don't really know how to play, or sorry, and pronounce these guys' last name. So I'm gonna try my best. Alex Espiritu, the bass player and drummer; Anthony Sonetti, Son Eddie, ish. Uh, yeah, they've been making music. I think even earlier than 2013, but I had to choose a nice year to pick, like, because I think they started making music 2008, maybe earlier, but there wasn't a whole lot of concrete. Like, I want to choose a good year. Whatever. Side tangent. Alright, so this album has kind of this. The feeling of the album, it's a very. It's a kind of. A lot of the songs are sad, lonely. But this album kind of strikes me as like people who listen to like fuck the people who listen to like male manipulator music. This is like how they really are. They aren't, these giga chads just like, oh, I walk up to women, I talk to them, I'm very suave, I say, hey, you like Weezer? No. This is like how they really actually factually are. They're just complete, you know, incels. Uh, the bad, if I'm being completely honest, there's not that much bad about this album. It's a pretty good album, although when I say like incel, and like it kind of has that like the song that pops up to my head. It's not a bad song. It's very good actually. It's a pretty good song on the album, Stalker, but it does mention Chad, incel, and anon, which does, if you're not like, if you played that for somebody who I guess isn't up to like internet shenanigans or memes, they'd be like, wow, that was really cringe. And they'd go, do you really listen to this band? And you would go, yes. And they'd be like, okay, that's cool. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Um, and which led me to feeling like this young girl here getting a shot. It's a very low quality image, but kind of wince. But it wasn't like a bad wince. I wasn't like, ooh. I was kind of like, ooh, you know. But it kind of makes you smile too. You go, oh, that's kind of funny, you know. Which I feel like is how they intended it. I don't really think they were legitimately like, oh yeah, we want the listener to be like, that's so true, Chads, incels, and like, no. I assume it was kind of meant to be on that like line of funny, but somewhat serious, you know. The good, there's a lot of good about this album. Okay, I actually really like it. The drums, amazing. They just go absolutely insane. I don't, Joey, I gotta go back, figure it out. I already forgot. Keep in mind, listen, this was my first time listening to the album and kind of listening to the band. I had only listened to one song on this album before called She Knows. It was a really good song. So I'm not like well versed. I did a bit of research, you know. So this is kind of a loose review, kind of first impressions, but also, if I like it the first time, I'll probably listen to it more. Um, the singer, Joe Katz, I already forgot his fucking name, but but very, he's kind of, his vocals are a little whiny, but not, I wouldn't say like they're so whiny that like it's just like wah wah wah, I'm crying, wah, Stacy, no, no, no. but it's like a nice balance of like upset, but not like whiny. Like, some bands I don't even fucking know who are just like crying when it's like depressing. It's not like I don't, you know, it's vocals are good is basically what I'm trying to say. I know I'm not doing a very good job at this review, but this is just kinda what's flowing. Oh my god. It's 4th of July, fireworks are going off, so be prepared to hear that shit. My bad. It's fuck. But yeah, it's a very vocals are good, you know. It, this is what stood out to me my first time listening. The drums and the vocals. There is. Let's go back to the bad for a little bit. I listened to the album on Spotify, and some of like I don't know what went wrong, but sometimes they cut off awkwardly. And that's not like a problem with like clearly I don't think they intended for that. Like she knows it kind of ends just abruptly and like it's kind of difficult. Be like, okay, song's over. It's not like a nice ease out or like even like this fucking like 80s where they just do a fade out. Be like, oh, just fade that shit out. We don't know how to end the song. But it just stops abruptly. And I don't think that was their intention, but it does happen. It's a really good album, you know. As I was saying, overall, it's a very, very good. It's actually a great album. Uh, there's not much. Like again, there wasn't much. I was like, oh, this album sucks ass. Oh, this song's terrible. None of that. Throughout the entire album, I was going, wow, this is good. I like this. This is all good. It's all good. The feelings of like loneliness too. I think I compare it. I don't even know what I compare it to, but it's a like to me. I like sad music. One of my favorite bands, Radiohead. So depressing, but I think wow, you can see I was just that's. Listen, I don't know how to do these reviews, but it deals with loneliness and kind of again I really like how it's like the perspective is kind of like this guy's a fucking loser. Like in all honesty, he's a fucking loser. I can't get a date to the prom, cry, cry, cry. But it deals with it very well. I mean, it's not that extreme. Like in some ways you are able to relate, you know, with the themes of like loneliness and you know girl you can't get because you are a loser and not a giga chad, shit like that. I really don't think there was really anything bad with the album at all. The awkward cutoffs, and the cringe shit. Yeah, but if you genuinely like the music, you're not gonna be like, oh, one little fuck up or one little cringe line. It's not gonna make you go, this shit is ass. So it's a really good album. So therefore, my rating is a 5 out of 5 or a 4.5 out of 5. I don't really. I personally, this is kind of just like a ballpark. I really like this. I like rock. I like lonely, sad kind of music. Call me soy boy, cuck, beta male, but I like it. It sounds good. So personally, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. It's kind of a perfect album. I don't think there are any skips on it. I think that's personally one of my great ways of rating an album, because if you skip like all the fucking songs on an album, chances are it's not that great of an album. So there were personally, I don't think any I wasn't skipping through any of the music. I'm not gonna skip because it's all good. I'd say 4.5. I'm only taking off 0.5 because again the kind of cringe incel vibes, but it's not that bad. You know, if that shit really puts off somebody because, you know, I don't know why, it's not terrible. It's it's a really good album, you know. My top 3 songs on this album would definitely have to be these aren't in any particular order. I think they're pretty interchangeable. Fuckboy, that's a really good one. She Knows, really good song. Again, it kind of suffers from that awkward cutoff, but it's fine. Honestly, I think if you listen to it anywhere else, it'll be fine. You know, who cares? Don't Hate Me as well, number 3. Again, these are kind of all interchangeable. No particular order. It's really good album. Yeah. So I proceeded to stutter and uh, for like the next few minutes. So instead of hearing me go ooh ah e ooh ooh, uh, you don't have to hear that. I cut it. So sorry, I can't fucking speak. Again, overall, it's a really good album. I don't think there's really any big cons when it comes to it. Uh, really anything. I think the cons really come from like, like, cause listen, if you, chances are you're listening to music for yourself, okay? You're not gonna like if you want people to think you're cool and you have good taste in music. This is still a 4.5 because overall it's a really great album. Uh, but like the cons are just small gripes, really. It's not even like bad, and you can still listen without ever like you just got to get used to I guess the cringe lyrics. But there's not even that many. There's only probably like I can count on the hands instances where the lyrics were somewhat cringe, and most of them come from one song, Stalker, which is still a really good song on the album. You know, so yeah, that's it. Give it a listen. Great album.